Okay, I am creating this video to take you through the process of the next couple of lessons, which is Part 2, Unit 5, beginning with Lesson 21. Now, once you're in GDP, we want to make sure that you click on the Part 2 tab and notice that it's going to tell you this is Unit 5, Word Processing and Email. Lesson 21, Orientation to Word Processing A. There are warm-ups, Math Plus, progressive practice, commas, and sentences. And I went over that in my previous video. Now I am going to focus on word processing, getting started in orientation to word processing. Now we'll make sure that we're on the right lesson, and it will tell you your instructions here on the left side. Study getting started in Lesson 21 in your Word manual. You will need your keyboarding textbook, and you will need your Microsoft Office Word 2007 manual for these lessons. Follow all of the practice steps to complete this exercise. If you are unfamiliar with basic computer file management principles such as navigating folders, saving files, please see Help, which is here, for a tutorial before beginning work in GDP word processing practice exercises or document processing jobs. Now click Start Work to download the start file and then open. If a protected view warning displays, click Enable Editing, and you may see that in your word processing document in Microsoft Word. You will click Enable Edit. If necessary, click View, Edit Document, and then so forth. Now, I want you to understand, it is telling you to click Start, but if you click Start here, this gives you a blank document. In this case, you are going to read this information in the middle of the screen. In this lesson 21 through 24 of your Word manual, you will complete a series of orientation lessons that include hands-on underscored practice exercises. Open your manual to getting started and read the related information, then open to Lesson 21, Orientation for Word Processing, and read the related information. In this lesson, Orientation to Word Processing A, you will become familiarized with the Word interface and learn how to choose a command from the ribbon, from the mini toolbar or shortcut menu, from the keyboard or from the quick access toolbar, open a file, quit Word, and return to GDP. So that's what this lesson is about. This section, which is word processing getting started, is focused on these items, these 3 items listed here in this bulleted list. We are going to, and it tells you for your Word manual on page 11 of your Word manual, you are asked to open the file named Practice 21. First, you must save the file to a location where you can open it later. Navigate to the location where you save the file and save it. So here, study getting started in Lesson 21 in your Word menu, then complete this practice exercise as directed. We will not have to click our Start Work button because it tells you right here. If you click the Start Work button, then click the Open button in the dialog box to open a blank, unnamed document. We don't want that at this point. We do want to download the file. We will download the file. I'm sorry. It appears here. We're going to open that up. Here is your protected view. Just like it said, Enable Editing. And now you're ready to practice. So go here. I will minimize this. And we're focused on Microsoft Word. Now, notice that it tells you in your title bar the name of this file, which is Practice 21. Now, you may not get the number 5. I have opened this 5 times, so it's telling me this is the 5th time I have opened it. This is the compatibility mode. It is compatible to Word, the version that you're using. On the subject of the version, this book is for the 2007 version of Microsoft Word. It is okay if you have 2013 or 2016. If you have those versions, then you will need to improvise a little bit when they make some changes in the commands or how to do something. So you will have to learn how to adjust to something looking totally different. Now, if you notice my word, I am working on 2016, so this looks a little different than the 13 and the 7, but I am able to improvise and find the things that I need. First thing it talks about is understanding your ribbon. This entire section is called a ribbon. This is your ribbon, and on the ribbon there are tabs. These are tabs. This is the home tab, and inside the home tab you have several groups. This is the clipboard group, the font group, paragraph group, styles, editing. And inside each of the groups there are different commands that work with the word processor. So under clipboard you can do your cut, copy, paste, and format painter. And if you hover over these commands, it will tell you exactly what they do. I suggest that you become familiar with the actual hover process. Take your mouse, make sure it's hovered over, and read what they say. If it's something you're unclear about, you can hover over it to read what it actually does, or you can go to your help, and help is located right here. Tell me what you want to do. So you can type in something that you're unclear about. Now, please be familiar with each one of these tabs. So here's the home tab, here's your insert tab, and anything that can be inserted into your document is most likely located under your insert tab. You can insert a table, you can insert pictures, shapes, and smart art, and so on. You can actually click here to go to Wikipedia and pull up some information. Like I said, there are several things that you can insert from here. Be familiar with each one of your groups and the commands that are inside the groups. In your design tab, you can change your theme. Right now my current theme is office theme. I can drop this down. This is if you have a downward arrow, it is indicating that there are more options for you to look at. So you have several different office themes. You can just scroll down. One thing I do like about Microsoft is 95%, I will say at least 98% of the time, things are alphabetized. Now in this case, they are not alphabetized, and I can't give you a concrete answer for why they're not alphabetized at the right. If you notice, these are not alphabetized, but once you get here, everything else is alphabetized. I'm not certain of that. You have document formatting. This is different styles that you can use for your documents, and if you see an arrow that looks like this is actually a more button. You can click here and it should expand that out and give you more options. You have your colors and fonts, paragraph spacings. You can do effects. You have watermarks, page color, border colors. All of that is under design. Now, this is your layout tab. I would suggest that you become very familiar with this tab because this is where you would do your page setup. Notice that this little box at the bottom right hand corner is available on certain groups, and what this does, it's called a dialog box launcher. So it is going to launch this box out. I can click on it and it opens up a dialog box. This specific dialog box is page setup. When you are creating documents, I would suggest that you do a 1-inch top, bottom, left, and right margin. Set that as default if you would like. That's on your personal computer. Now, if you're using a computer that's a public computer, then I wouldn't suggest you make any changes to the default settings. But if it's your personal computer, whether you're using 2013, Word or 2007 or 2016, you can set the margins for 1 inch, top, bottom, left, and right. Now there may be some lessons throughout this course that will require you to change maybe your top margin and perhaps your left and right margin. You may get a document that instructs you to change your top margin to 2 inches, and this is where you will find this information. So I will click cancel. I set my margins for 1 inch all the way around, so that is, it's going to open up like that when I open it up. This is for your orientation. If you want to type things in portrait, of course, this is by default. If you need to change something to landscape, this is where you would do that. This tells you the size of the paper. Standard size paper is 8.5 by 11. And you can insert a column if you need to, or a line break and line numbers. Now, this section, the paragraph section, this is very important. Most word processing software is defaulted with maybe 6, 8, or 12 points before or after a paragraph. I always change that to 0. I'm going to show you how to do it. Click your dialog box launcher, open that up. I set these at 0, and I do not want to add space between paragraphs of the same style. I make sure my line spacing is single, and this does not give you extra space after a paragraph or before a paragraph, because that can it can actually alter your formatting for a document. And if you're creating a document that needs to be graded based on your format, then that's going to give you some points taken off. I would suggest 0 before, 0 after, single space to start off with, do not space between paragraphs of the same style, set as default, and make sure it is for all documents based on the normal template. Now, if you're using a public computer, I would not set that as default, but I would definitely go in and change the line spacing before and after to 0. Now, when you're ready to type a business letter, you can use single space in your paragraphs and a double space after your paragraphs, and that's something that you can do manually. If you are typing a report, most reports, I will say at least 90, I would say 100% of the reports need to be doubled space. So if I want to double space, I can set this up by clicking. I'm going to select this paragraph. Go into my paragraph button, choose double space, click OK, and it has changed everything to double space for me. I will take that back. I don't want to modify this document just yet. Now, I just mentioned about reports. This reference tab and these groups are very important for you when you begin typing MLA reports as well as APA reports. So this information will be very helpful for you. The mailing tab, you can create envelopes, labels. You can actually start a mail merge. That's something that will probably be focused on in later lessons, but you can create mail merges. Your review tab has your spell check. It also has a thesaurus. On the view tab, if your ruler is not turned on, I would suggest you turn it on, because you can use it to set tabs and do other things with. And I would suggest that your view is in print layout. So I just took you through the tabs on the ribbon. Now I just pressed the file button, and this takes us to the backstage view. This entire view is called backstage, and it's the properties of the document. Now notice that these are the properties of the document. It tells you the size of the document. It's 1 page. It was edited 11 minutes ago. It lets you know when it was modified, when it was created. This is not my document. This is a document that was included in our software. So I am not the author, but Arlene is the author, and Maggie Shores was the last person to modify it. And here you have compatibility mode. You can convert your file. If you're on an older version, you can convert it to an upgraded version, or you can drop it back. It gives you that option. You can protect your document. Now, if you decide to protect your document, password protected, please write your password down somewhere so you can remember what it is. I have a document currently I can't remember the password for, but that's something and I would suggest that you only use that if it's very important and you need to keep several people from looking at the document. You can inspect your document here. You can manage your document. From here you can do your save. Save will save it directly to your C drive. Save as gives you the option of directing where you want to save it. So if I click save as, I can browse my computer, and if I have my jump drive inserted in, I'm going to insert my jump drive here, and let's see here. My jump drive is Lexar, so I can tell it exactly where I want it to save, and I can pull it down and decide to put it right here, and then I click save. Change the name if I want. I can take this off from being number 5 to just practice 21, and I click save. And it asks me, your document will be upgraded to the newest file format. That's fine. That's a part of the compatibility. Click OK. Now, I will go back to home. This across the top is called your quick access toolbar, and you can add commonly used commands. If I want to have a shortcut to a new document, I can click on new document. If I need a shortcut to, well, I have here's a shortcut to open. If I want to open another document, so I have a shortcut for save. I use this computer often, so I can just save to my hard drive. If it's your home computer, then you can save to your hard drive. Here's my option for undo and then redo. I have a quick print option. It's going to print directly to the printer that's in my office. Print preview allows me to see what the document is going to look like after I have completed it. Here's my spell check. Here's my new blank document, and to open a document. Now, notice that this is document 1 because when I clicked on new document, it created a new document for me. I do not need that. I will close it. And we're back to our practice 21. Now, in your manual, it's going to go through some steps with you that tell you exactly what it wants you to do. 21 is basically wanting you to understand how to go between a Word document, download a Word document, open up a Word document, close a Word document, and go back to your GDP. And that's what I just did. So it's understanding how to navigate between GDP and your Word document. And that completes that section. So that was 21E word processing. The next